All right, today I am testing out the cleaning products that are all over the internet right now, claiming to be the best ever miracle products. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you, there are some real winners here, but there's some duds too, and I don't want you to waste your money on them, and I don't want you to clutter up your cabinets with them. So we're gonna figure out which are which today. Now, if you've seen any of my other cleaning videos, you know my pet peeve with things that claim to be miracle products, like it is gonna change your life. It's gonna practically clean your house for you, right? And here's why. They waste our money, they clutter up our space, and they make us feel bad about ourselves because if it doesn't work, I assume there's something wrong with me, not with the product, right? All right, so let's start with these guys, the Scrub Daddy sponges. I love watching Kim from the Wads, and she uses these all the time. And so we're gonna test out the Scrub Daddy sponges. And then I'd also been hearing about this too, the Dawn Powerwash. So let's get to work cleaning and then we'll talk about how they're performing, right? But this is a great opportunity for you to clean alongside me. So we can body double today. I've talked about that before. If you don't know what it means, I can link to a video about it, but it just means where we work together. And you don't have to do the same thing as me, but we could clean together today while we visit and test these out. Well, and I guess before we go much further, I should tell you what we're gonna be testing today. So we have the Scrub Daddy sponges, Scrub Daddy Power Paste, Scrub Daddy baseboard duster thing. I also have a wall cleaner, upholstery cleaner, washing machine cleaner, Dr. Bronner's soap. We're gonna make a paste into this to see how that works. And then also a leather conditioner, cleaner, restorer as well. So we are gonna be very busy today. Okay, so I am guessing you have seen these Scrub Daddy sponges around. They're known for their smiley face, which is actually really cute. I see Kimberly from the Wads use them a lot. And what's kind of cool is that they start out very hard. They are very stiff when they first come out. But if you put them in warm water, they get pretty soft. So for like dishes, they work well. But then if you put them in cooler water, cold water, then they're stiff again. So they're actually like supposed to be pretty good for all types of cleaning because of that versatility. There's also the Scrub Mommy one, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'll show that a little bit later. But the other thing that they say, it says, it's very catchy. We don't scratch, we don't smell, we clean really well. And so they're supposed to be the right amount of abrasiveness without scratching anything. The other thing that's nice about them is that you can actually put them in the dishwasher to clean, which I think you can with a lot of sponges, but it's kind of like a wide weave that it has to it. So what I've been noticing as we've been using these is stuff doesn't get stuck in them so much. And so I would say, as far as just like doing dishes, like you can put the silverware through the mouth to clean it. I don't know, I still just wipe it off on the outside. I don't really take the time to put it through the mouth. Like for pots and pans, it's great. For cups, it gets in there just fine. I would say the drawback is when you're trying to get into little things, or I notice around like our pots and pans where like the rivets are inside the pan, this didn't do a good job. And so I actually preferred my old-fashioned dish brush or whatever for the little stuff. But by and large, I actually really liked it for doing dishes. And there's something about the smiley face that is actually, I don't know, when it's like smiling at you, this probably sounds silly, it actually makes me feel happier. So I do like that about it. So for dishes, I would give it like a B for versatility and like only needing one thing. It's pretty good. Little tiny stuff, I think it doesn't do as well. And it's very easy to clean out. Now I use this in conjunction with the Dawn Powerwash. So I had heard a lot of people talking about this. I don't normally get into gimmicky stuff like this. To me, this seems like an overpriced like gimmick, but we do always wash all of our pots and pans by hand. And a lot of times I don't run an actual sink full of water for those. Like we just wash them out and rinse them and then put it back away or whatever. So actually this worked really well because I feel like we waste a lot of dish soap when we're just washing one or two pots and pans because you like squirt a whole pump in. Well, I try not to, but the kids do, right? And then you're like using as much for a sink full of dishes on one pan. So I've always felt like we waste a lot of dish soap. So this sprays it over really nice and evenly. And if you need to soak anything, you just kind of spray it over. I do think it worked pretty well, but the pots and pans I'm showing are nonstick, so they clean up pretty easily anyways. But then I was surprised with the blue sponge that I was using because I did a pan that had taco meat in it, so it turned all red, and I was like, oh, is the sponge gonna get discolored or is it gonna clean up? it went right back to blue. Like it looked brand new when I was done doing the dishes. So I do like that they don't stain and they don't take on the color of whatever it is that you're washing. And then, like I said, you can throw them in there. So far, I'm pretty pleased with these. Normally in the past, I would just use a dishcloth or those green sponges from the dollar store. I cut them up into little pieces. This I feel like wears better. So that's good. And then this, surprisingly, I'm kind of a big fan of it. And you can buy refills so you don't have to buy the whole bottle. I think it was around $5 for it. It has a nice scent too. It's like apple scented. However, I am aware of artificial scents. I think they're not good for us. So it's nice like to use, but actually in my head, I'm thinking like, this isn't good for our bodies. So, you know, it is what it is. So this will probably continue to get. And I also want to try these out on the counters because I like something that can go from sink to counters. Like my whole goal with cleaning supplies is to have very few that are very versatile, right? So the problem is when you use this on the counter, because it's not super absorbent, as it doesn't pick the water back up. So as far as like getting stuff loose and getting everything off, it gets it all loose, but I didn't feel like it got it all back up. So I ended up going back over it with a dishcloth. So this would not be my first thing I would grab to actually wipe down the counters at the end of the night. So that would be a strike against it, but we are gonna try it in the oven coming up too and see how it does in there. So again, I would still buy these. I'm a solid like B on them. They're good. They're not like, they won't do everything for you though. So just know that if you get some too. All right, and the way to make sure that you have enough energy for cleaning is to make sure that you're getting a really great night's sleep every single night. So today's video is sponsored by Helix. Hey, what are you doing here?
Why are you making our bed? I was gonna take a nap.
A nap? You've been getting a great night's sleep. You should have tons of energy.
I know, but I'm doing the work of 2 people.
That's actually true. All right, you get snuggled in, you can take a nap. We can talk about how great our Helix mattress is. In all seriousness, Tom is actually the one, you're the one that had back problems, like serious back problems. Oh, I'm sorry, did you fall asleep already?
Yes, I did have loads of back problems, sleeping problems, and just all around pain. And luckily, we have Helix mattresses now, and they're fantastic. I sleep all night long.
Well, and I think you had started chalking up your back problems to just getting older, doing a lot of physical labor and work, and the truth is that you should still get a really good night's sleep and feel good when you wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this mattress has proven itself, what is it, almost 2 years?
2.5 years.
Okay,
yeah.
2.5 years.
So what you do is you go online and you take the Helix sleep quiz. It only takes a few minutes and you put in information for both you and the person that you sleep with, and it asks you like, what's your sleep position? So what's your normal sleep position, Tom?
Spooning with Dawn.
What's your normal sleep position, Tom?
Hugging the outside edge of the bed.
Stop it.
Oh no, that's yours.
They don't have those options. Are you a side sleeper, a stomach sleeper, or a back sleeper?
Side and back.
And I'm mostly a stomach and side sleeper.
With her knee facing inward.
Stop it. And so we were matched with the Helix Dusk Luxe. And like Tom said, we've had it for over 2.5 years. And what we love about Helix is that you get a 100-night sleep warranty. And so you get to try it out for 100 nights and make sure that it's a really great fit for you as well. If not, they will gladly exchange it for you. And then beyond that, you get a 10-year warranty. So it comes well protected and delivered to your door. Setup is super easy and convenient. And shipping is actually included here in the US. So if you use our link down below, you can save 20% on your own mattress and get 2 free pillows as well. All right, you make the bed. I'm gonna go keep cleaning, okay?
All right, I'm not making the bed.
Okay, I know you're not gonna be shocked when I tell you I have not cleaned our oven since the last time I did a clean with me video, which I don't know, I'll have to find out when that was. It was last fall or before Christmas. No, in Christmas, I didn't do it before Christmas. I don't usually go that deep. I don't care if my oven is dirty. So I've shared this before, I am a messy person at heart. That is why I've become a minimalist, so I don't have so much stuff to manage, right? Which means my house does not get deep cleaned regularly. I don't have a cleaning schedule, and I am okay with that. And so it is totally fine. So today though, on the oven, what I wanted to try was I wanted to compare 3 different things, because I have used the pink stuff. I have used it in there. The last time I cleaned the oven, I said this worked awesome, but I wasn't comparing it to anything else. So how would I know if there's something better out there? So you've maybe seen this new product. It is called the Scrub Daddy Power Paste. And then for those of us who are even more naturally minded, these are actually fairly natural products. Like this says 99% natural ingredients, environmentally non-toxic, non-hazardous, not tested on animals. And this also says no animal testing, non-toxic, biodegradable. But if you want to go even more natural, anyone who's tried to go super natural, you know about Dr. Bronner's soap. And then I saw this on Instagram where you mix it with baking soda and you make a paste. So you can make like your own paste that should perform the same as these. So we're comparing all three of these, and I'm starting with the pink stuff. And so I did mix up a paste. It did not look anything like the gal's Instagram video. I'm sure I was doing it wrong, or I didn't. I was using the like super washing soda, which also says household cleaner, not just regular baking soda. My paste did not paste well, so I might have needed to add more of this in, but I'm like, I'm just gonna try it because I don't like wasting stuff if it's not working. And so I did start out with the pink stuff, and then I went to this. This was just a mess. You could see that again because I didn't get my paste just right. But here's what I know about myself. That extra step of needing to mix up a paste will keep me from doing it. And so if I can literally just dip my sponge into a container and use it, or have to mix up a paste, like I'm gonna go for this all day long, right? And so I think this could be a great solution, again, especially if you're trying to like keep chemicals out, have a very versatile ingredients in your house that you can use for lots of different things. I do think it's a good solution for that. It's not for me right now. And so this didn't work well in there, but again, it's probably just because I didn't make it right, and I don't care to take the time to try it more. So there's like that's just where I'm at right now. And so then lastly, we tried the Power Paste, and you can't really tell from the video, but I am scrubbing so hard with this. I just felt like I had to work so hard with this, where the pink stuff, I didn't feel like I had to work that hard at all. So I actually like gave up on this then and then used the pink stuff for the rest of the whole inside. So hands down, I would pick this. I've heard some others say that too, and this is less expensive. The cheapest would be the Dr. Bronner's combo. This is around $5 at Walmart. This was $10, but it does come with a Scrub Mommy sponge on top, which we're gonna use a little bit later. So, I mean, if it comes with a sponge, that helps. This just wasn't, I don't think it worked that well for this application. There might be better, there might be other places it works well, but again, I'm looking for versatility, and inexpensive always wins out in my book as well. Now, the bottom of the stove, I would not be cleaning this unless I was inviting you all over to see my stove today, because I don't care. But I also don't want it to be like a fire hazard and setting off the smoke detector every time we cook, right? So I tried to get all the dried stuff off, which actually a dry Scrub Daddy sponge worked very well to get that all off, and then I vacuumed it up. I don't know if that's bad for my vacuum or not, but that's what I did. So I got all the dry stuff out, and then I used the pink stuff spray in there. Again, this was an impulse buy I had gotten a while ago. Actually, we all really like it. Again, I think it's fairly clean ingredients. It's vegan. Let's see. You know, this one doesn't make the same claims on it for being more naturally minded. I don't know. We probably shouldn't be using this maybe. But compared to regular oven cleaners, I sprayed this in there, let it soak a little bit, and then went after it with the sponge. And then I kind of dried it up, and then used the Scrub Daddy again with the pink stuff paste. And I could have worked longer on it to get it cleaner. I don't care. And so I'm sure I could have got it cleaner by letting this soak on it a little bit more, and maybe using a more abrasive sponge. The Scrub Daddy did pretty well to get like 90% of it off, but there was a little bit left that I probably needed a little bit more of an abrasive sponge, or whatever you use for that kind of stuff. I don't know. Can you use steel wool in your oven? I just don't. You probably can, right? Anyways, I was not going that far today. So, but it still looks way better than it did before. So there's that. And again, the sponge looked gross by the time I was done. So how well will it clean up? It cleaned up really well. So what I do like about the Scrub Daddy sponges is that they wash out very easily. It doesn't, like, little stuff doesn't collect in it. They rinse out so easily. I don't even have to work hard for that. So I do really appreciate that. And then they come in different colors, so you can use them for like different places. So now I know green equals gross to use on really gross spaces. Blue matches my Powerwash, so that's what we use for dishes. So I don't know that. that's my logic anyways. Okay, I am blaming this one on Catherine from Do It on a Dime. I love Catherine, I'm just joking. But I had seen her use this. It's the Damp Duster by Scrub Daddy. It's kind of this weird, like in the package is already like moisture in it. It's like pre-moistened, and it's supposed to work really well for like baseboards or other things that you're dusting. It says, sweep damp duster across the hard surfaces in your home for fast, mess-free dusting, ideal for blinds, vents, shelves, molding, windowsills, and more. Here's what I'm gonna tell you about the damp duster. It feels really weird. It has like a weird texture to it. I didn't feel like it glided smoothly across the molding or the trim. Again, I could be using it wrong. I don't know. And then it, like for spots where there was something it kind of needed to scrub off a little bit, it didn't work super well for that. Like I really had to go over it a lot, where I feel like if I had a microfiber cloth, I could have gotten it off fairly easily. So I didn't like that about it. Again, I don't like having to store a bunch of extra things. And like, this is just very like niche, right? For cleaning products. I don't know. It says the damp duster hardens when dry, moisten with water before each use to soften, not for use with chemical cleaning agents, store upright in a cool, dry place. Like I said, I could be using it wrong, but I don't like cleaning products that make me feel like I'm wrong or not good at something. So I decided just to go back over it, because then I'm like, well, is a microfiber cloth really that much easier? And so then I went over it with a microfiber cloth and I'm like, oh yeah, this was super easy. And if you have to like scrub little spots, it's super easy. So again, it could just be me. I would not buy this again. They were like 2 for $10 on Amazon. To me, not worth it at all, but I could just be using it wrong. So you might like it. I don't know. All right, so for this next one, I actually wanted to come out to our office building. It is a carpet spot remover, and you can also use it for upholstery. Again, Catherine from Do It on a Dime, she swears by this one. So I'm really hopeful it's gonna work well, because these chairs have seen better day. They were formerly in our living room and they just really got lived on a lot. And so let's see how you're supposed to use it. Simply apply a generous amount on the spot and gently agitate and blot with a clean absorbent cloth. Allow carpet or material to dry before use. So one thing Catherine had said about this was that you don't have to like rinse it out at all. So she really liked that. And it actually comes with a white cloth. I've also heard that you can use the sponge mommy on it as well. So I think we'll try both and just see if one works better than the other or whatever. I kind of feel like we don't have anything to lose on these chairs. Luckily from a distance, you can't ever tell how gross they are. So, you know, we'll just give it a try and see how it goes. I would rather ruin my furniture than yours. Okay, I think Catherine found a winner here. I really like that you don't have to rinse it. I started out using the sponge on it, but I don't know. I think my brother had actually taught me, when he taught me how to clean furniture, he actually had these white like bar rags too. And I think what's good about the cotton is it's pulling the dirt out of it as you scrub. And the sponge, I don't know, the sponge didn't seem like it was pulling it out. It's also very gratifying to see this, like pulling all the dirt out. Like, I'm not usually the type that like really gets a kick out of cleaning. You all know me, but I know for some of you, you do. But this was actually really fun, because it was so fun to see like all of the dirt that was coming off of this. And it hasn't dried yet, but I can already tell that the spots are coming out, and I know it's gonna look so much better. So we'll let it fully dry and then I'll show you like what it looks like, but I'm already really pleased with it. And like I said, it's just really nice that you don't have to rinse it out. You literally just spray it on and wipe it. I also did remember, as I was doing this, I actually Scotch guarded these chairs when we first got them. So we had them in our living room for about 2 years. So I Scotch guarded them when we first got them, and then you're supposed to re-Scotch guard like every year or more if it's heavy use. I never applied it again, so it's probably kind of worn off, especially the high use areas. So I don't know if that's making a difference either. And I would recommend the Scotch Guard. Again, they probably has chemicals that aren't good for you in it, but I do feel like it helped to protect these chairs when they were in our house, and is maybe helping them to clean up a little bit easier, but I don't know for sure. It could have worn off by now, so who knows? But it's not that expensive, and so I do think it's worth it. But otherwise, like I said, we'll let these dry and then we'll come back and see how it looks. Hopefully the spots won't reappear. I don't know, but we'll see. I was actually just headed back inside, and then I saw this here. So I still really like the O-Cedar Mop. I don't mop my floors all that often, but I actually know 2 professional cleaners, and this is what they use as well. I see all the people on YouTube, like all the clean with me's, I feel like this is what they use. So it's simple, it's effective, it's easy to clean out. I really like this a lot and would endorse this. I was just noticing though, Tom used it out here. We're still not done with this building, but Tom used it out here to wash the floors. Can you see how dirty it is in there? But this part, the mop part comes off and you can wash it and you can get replacements for it too. I hope it won't come to that, but I'm guessing we'll be able to clean it out. No problem, but it is what it is. It'll be fine. Okay, next let's talk about wall cleaners. So I had seen Brittany Vassar recommend this one. Again, I don't want to disparage any companies, but I also don't want you to clutter up your cabinets with cleaning supplies that you're not using. So just recently in the boys' bedroom, their walls were so dirty. Like so dirty, I'm like looking at it like, how did I not notice how dirty this was? But it's because like Corbin's pillow is normally against that wall. And so part of having kids that love to play outside and are creative is dirty walls, I guess. So that's how I'm choosing to look at it. Anyways, their walls were filthy. So we decided to try out 3 different cleaners on that. We tried just a wet microfiber cloth. We also tried this wall cleaner that I got in that Brittany swore by, which again, I love her, but not every recommendation works for all of us, right? It might have worked really well for her. And then Corbin wanted to try the pink stuff on there.
That was one wipe right there.
Wow, it came like perfectly clean. This wall might not be as bad as we were thinking. Okay, I'm gonna try just the plain microfiber right here. Oh, well that's cleaning it too.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe all we need is a plain microfiber cloth, Corbin.
Yeah.
That's coming perfectly clean. Turns out for us on flat painted walls even, that the microfiber cloth was totally adequate. So they cleaned all of their walls with this. They worked great. Now, the only thing the microfiber couldn't really get off well was like black scuff marks or pencil. So that it wasn't able to get it all off. So then I did try this and it got the pencil marks and the scuff marks about 80% off. So this was useful when it came to getting other types of marks off of the wall or trim. So I will give it that. It did work for that and seemed to leave the paint mostly intact. So that was good, but for just straight up wall cleaning, I didn't feel like we needed it. And it was a little bit pricey too. So I don't know. I know you can use like magic erasers, but I also know that those chemicals are not good for you. So I don't even like touching magic erasers. So you might find it helpful if you get lots of scuff marks and stuff that's a little bit harder to get off of your walls. Otherwise, if you're not too picky about it, I don't know if it's actually necessary. Okay, so let's talk about keeping our washing machines smelling good. So we have a top load, so it definitely does not get as smelly as our front load used to. So I do appreciate that, but I'll still tell, like in my book, how I can tell if the washing machine needs to be like deep cleaned is that like really a load of laundry should be able to sit in it for 24 hours without getting smelly. So if we find that that's not happening, I'm like, we need to run the like deep clean cycle, whatever on it. And so I had gotten these, the Eco Gals Eco Swirls. Clean your washing machine and it's 24 tablets and then you just put 2 of them in to clean your washer. And ours actually has a cycle. It says clean washer with a fresh. I'm not using a fresh, but I use these and that works really well. And then the laundry doesn't smell anymore, even if it gets forgotten for a little while. So I actually feel like these do work really well and they have been effective. They weren't that expensive for a 1-year supply. So these have been really good. And I was kind of joking about chemicals and stuff, but really we do try to keep the chemicals out of our cleaners and our laundry detergent and dishwasher tabs and stuff. Because I mentioned this a while back, but with Gage, we had actually noticed he had some sensitivities and we found out that there was actually like household chemical toxins like accumulating in his system. And so that was very sobering and we're like, okay, there's actually no excuse these days to get the chemicals out of our house because there are so many like natural friendly options. It's just finding the ones that work and they are a little pricier too. So for like laundry detergent, we use Molly's Suds, just the powder detergent. You know, even these are eco-friendly. You know, most of the household cleaners that we're using, like I really do try to use stuff that is more naturally minded. Not all of it works super good. Like the dishwasher tabs we have, I won't even link to them because they're like chemical free, but I don't think they work that well. So we're just trying to like use them all up. I had gotten a bunch of them and then we'll probably try something else out. It could be our dishwasher too, I don't know. So there is some trial and error with it and learning new things, but I do think it's worth it to just over time start to replace the more toxic stuff with more naturally minded things. So that's been our plan and it's been working. So that's been good. Now I also showed in that video with the boys' bedroom, I did laundry stripping. I think this is, well, it has Tide in it, powdered Tide, so that's probably not great. It worked so well the last time we did it though. And so it's 2 parts of powdered Tide to 1 part borax and 1 part washing soda. Well, I was a little worried at first because there was lots of blue in the water and I was like, oh no, I'm like ruining their comforters, right? But it didn't catch on to the light colored parts. It all washed out and they came so clean. And I had mentioned, I had done laundry stripping before on some of our other comforters and I didn't have as remarkable of results, but I used a regular baking soda and not washing soda. And so I do think using the washing soda actually makes a big difference. And it was just like at Walmart, it was just with the laundry detergent, so it was easy to find. So just so you know, I do think that makes a difference. And I do think that recipe is actually really effective if you want to really deep clean some of your linens. All right, let's test out a leather cleaner conditioner. Like I said, everything I'm showing, we've been using for a while. So, and if you don't have leather, then you can skip ahead. I did put timestamps in this video. But my brother, who was a professional cleaner for a long time, he said you should condition your leather at least once a year. And so most of these products are a cleaner and conditioner for leather. I've noticed, at least here in Minnesota, especially in the winter when it gets really dry, I feel like I need to do it more frequently. We've had this couch for about 3 years now and I really want to keep it nice. So I'm trying to do it even more frequently than that. Okay, so I saw this product on Instagram. The gal showed this like couch. They had like gotten it on the side of the road for free. And she was like, look at this miracle product. And she put it on and she's like, look, it looks like brand new. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think you can make a lot of things look brand new on a video and in person, they probably still don't look that awesome. Like you can't take old crappy leather and make it like brand new again. Like that's not how it works. You can condition it, you can make it look nicer, you can cover up some of the scratches. It's still not gonna look brand new. So just so you know. So this is called Leather CPR as seen on TV. I got it off Amazon and I like it. It works well. So what you do is you actually use a soft sponge. So I'm using my Scrub Mommy sponge. So the Scrub Mommy has a soft side like mom's, right? And then the firm side too. So it's perfect for this type of application. You use a soft sponge to put it on. You're supposed to let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes. And then you take a clean cloth and you wipe it back off and you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, right? And see all the gross, grimy stuff that you're wiping off of your couch. Now, if you go to Amazon, I haven't checked recently, but a while back when I was looking for a leather conditioner, one of the top sellers is actually called like Leather Honey or something like that. That's what I got first. And it was like literally like smearing honey on your leather couch. It was gross and it did not, like it worked well. It was fine. It was not enjoyable to use, which again, I know myself, and if something is a pain in the butt to use, I'm not gonna use it, right? So this was much more user-friendly. I'm much more likely to do it more often because it's so easy to use. I donated the Leather Honey because I'm like, I'm not doing that to my couch. It was just too hard to use. So just so you know, this would be my pick of those two. I have not tried any others, so I don't have anything else to compare it to. But I do feel like this works well. You'll notice when you first put it on, like you'll really see all of the creases and cracks, and it looks worse at first if you have lighter colored leather, but then it dries and it looks nice. And so I do think it works well. It says you can use it on furniture, car seats or car interior, jackets, purses, shoes, and more. So you could use it on lots of other things too. So I guess maybe you shouldn't have skipped this section if you don't have a leather couch. I don't know. I don't condition my shoes and purses and jackets. So there's that, right? So I do think this is a good product. It was around $17, I think, but I've used it. I've done this at least 4 times with this bottle to this couch, and there's still, I could probably do it at least another 4 times. I also do think the technique, you can put it on the sponge and then put it on. I think it's easier just to like squirt it right onto the leather and then do it that way. And then go back with your dry cloth after a couple minutes, and it's very gratifying. So there you go. And hopefully this couch continues to hold up well because I really like how it looks, even though it's not super comfortable, but you know, that's fine. We just sometimes have things that look nice, even if they're not comfortable. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Okay, we had to come back out here and check this cleaner real quick. It looks really good. I'm actually really happy with it, and it was really easy to use. So that's awesome, right? And like, you know, we all get drawn into miracle cleaners. So if you have bought stuff in the past and it hasn't worked, there's nothing wrong with you, right? Like often we're like, oh, I'm so foolish. Like, why did I buy that? If there's a miracle cleaner out there, like we all want to know about it, right? So it happens. Like, I mean, I've fallen victim to it, you know, just the same as everyone else. So there's nothing wrong with you. And so that's why I do enjoy testing these out. Cause like if I can save you a few dollars, then I would like to, but yeah, I think this one actually looks really good and I think it could be a winner. You could also just try like some water with a microfiber cloth too. Maybe try that first, but then if that doesn't quite get everything out, then maybe try something like this. Okay, well that's looking pretty good. Why don't we head back in the house and we'll wind things up. Okay, I'm gonna try this paste again because I went back and watched the Instagram video again and she made it look like so nice and easy. I'm gonna put the soap in first and then add powder to it just until we get a paste and see if that makes a difference. I have no idea. It's still not probably something I would do on a regular basis, but you know, I like to know these things, so let's try it again. It's either my soap or my soda isn't right because it just gets like really clumpy and hard and not at all pasty. Let me see if I have some baking soda and if we can try it with that. Okay, so clearly you can't use the washing soda because this is actually making a very nice paste. And now I kind of want to go clean something again. I think I'm gonna put just a little more in. That is lovely. All right, well, I mean, we kind of need to try it on something, right? I'm trying to think what's gross. Why don't we go to the shower and we'll just test it out in there. See, this is how you know we're good friends, but I'll show you the grody parts of our house, right? So along the edge here, I can never get this like super clean, but I also don't try super hard. So I'm thinking we're gonna test it on there and just see. The pink stuff did not work for it, so it's a little more advanced staining going on. So let's test it out on here. Okay, I mean, I think this is enjoyable to use. It's easy to use. I don't feel like I have to scrub super hard. I decided to put it on and let it soak for a little bit, and then I kind of scrubbed the other areas around it and then went back to it. And unfortunately, it could be the sponge, the lack of abrasiveness with this particular sponge, or it could be the solvent, the cleaner or whatever. So it didn't take it off, but that's okay, we tried, right? So, and again, just knowing myself, just having to go through the extra step of mixing this up would keep me from cleaning. So I'm more likely to clean if there's something that I can just dip the sponge in, like the pink stuff, and go to town. So I probably won't use this very frequently, but it is nice to know that it's an option, especially if you want to highly simplify your cleaning products. I also really like this little caddy that I got off Amazon. I showed a little while back. This exact one's out of stock, which is kind of a bummer. I like that it has the drip tray, but I'm gonna link to another one that's kind of similar. So you can put your sponge daddies in here. I don't necessarily like storing them in the sink. And then I also really like these scrapers a lot, so I can link to these. These are great for stuck on stuff on pots and pans, like baking sheets too, especially, or the stove, like scraping stuff that gets stuck onto the stove. So these I use all the time. I also just noticed our flowers on the table. I'm gonna go show you this. This is so cool. So our friend Jen works at a florist here in Minnesota called Bachman's, and they have these, it's called a Watch Them Grow bulb garden. So when it came in the mail, she mailed it to us, it was just bulbs in the dirt. You couldn't see anything. Within a few days, it had totally grown, and now like the tulips are just starting to bloom, and whatever these purple ones are. It is incredible because it is still just all snow here in Minnesota. So to have these flowers growing in our house right now, and they smell so good, it has been so cool. So anyways, I just kept catching a glimpse of it, and it makes my heart happy every time I look at it. Okay, this is kind of funny. I'm sorry, the dishwasher is running. I was just opening a box from Amazon, and I pulled this out, and I'm like, what is this? And then I was like, wait. And Tom was sitting at the table. I was like, I didn't order this. This is the like suction thing for the inside of your sink for the Sponge Daddy sponge, which is cool. Like, it's really convenient, but I'm like, it was $12. And so I had put it in the cart because I was gonna get it, and then I was like, no, that's ridiculous. I'm not spending $12 on this little tiny plastic thing. And so I'm like, wait, I didn't order this. And then Tom was like, he was like, oh, it was in the cart. So I just ordered it when I was checking out or whatever. And so I'm trying to decide if I should use it because I do think it would be kind of handy. Or if I should send it back because it was $12. So I think since it's here, I'm gonna use it, but I don't know. I just know. I would be curious your thoughts. Like, would you spend $12 on this for like a little convenience thing or not? So, anyways, all right, I'm gonna use it. I also don't always have good luck with suction-y things to our sink, but we're gonna try it out. Okay, I kind of have a mess here of cleaners now, but let's recap real quick, shall we? Okay, so I think the Pink Stuff cleaning paste is worth adding to your repertoire. The Dr. Bronner's, I still need to learn how to use this more. I know many people that this is like, it's a Castile soap, right? And this is one of the only soaps they use for everything. So I'm gonna keep learning how to use this more, but right now I can't really recommend it. I do think the Dawn Powerwash is nice, and the Sponge Daddy, again, both of these are a little gimmicky, but if it makes me more likely to clean, like this makes me think pots and pans aren't that big of a deal. It's like a mind game, right? And so if it makes me clean more, then it's worth its weight in whatever it costs there, right? So to me, this is worth it. This, again, a smiley face on it, totally gimmicky, but if it makes me feel just a little bit happier while I'm cleaning, then so be it, and I like it. So I'm gonna put these on the keep pile here. This is garbage, all right. The wall cleaner, I would probably pass on that. I like this, but I don't know the ingredients, so I think after we use this up, I probably won't buy this. Okay, the upholstery cleaner, I like this. You can also use like a citrus, is what my brother usually recommends, but this worked well, so this I do like. I like the Eco Swirls like we talked about. The Scrub Daddy duster thing, I would forgo this. This would not be something I would get. I do like the leather CPR for cleaning and conditioning leather. And then one other thing I didn't really talk about, if you are looking for an all-purpose cleaner that is clean ingredients and works well, my friend Cindy had got this for me and it works very well. The only thing is it has no scent to it. And I actually find I'm drawn to these at Target. And I do believe these are all safe. USDA certified bio-based and never tested on animals. I like the smell. And so seasonally, I like to get a new one of these from Target. And just when I'm wiping down the counters at the end of the day, it smells nice. And so again, this is enjoyable to me. Is it necessary? No, not at all. But I would put it in the like gimmicky category of things like this that make it more likely for me to clean, especially at the end of the day when I don't feel like it, right? So I do like this, but totally not necessary. And if you are looking for something that's totally clean and unscented, then you can check this out as well. Okay, so I do think that is everything. But before we go, I want to give you permission to let go of any cleaners that don't work for you, right? We see people all the time using all these different things and they swear by them and they're the greatest thing ever. And it might not work for you, and that's okay. If it is sitting in where you keep your cleaners and you haven't used it in a long time, I would just be really honest with yourself and say like, okay, am I gonna learn how to use it? Am I gonna try it again? Or do I just need to pass it on and decide that it wasn't the right cleaner for me and the type of cleaning that I do? Like I give Catherine from Doing on a Dime a hard time, but I think we clean differently. And so that's totally okay, right? So some things that work for her might not work for me, and that is totally fine. And so it's really figuring out what works best for you. And like I said, I do try to find things that do double duty so that I don't have to have a ton of cleaners to manage and organize and take care of, but that's just what works best for me. And ultimately, remember that whether your house is clean or dirty, it doesn't change who you are, right? I've been talking about this lately. Like, you saw our boys' room. It was a complete disaster, but I'm not a bad mom. I'm not a bad person. It just hadn't been a priority, right? And sometimes cleaning's a priority in our house. I especially appreciate when you come over because then I do more and I go deeper. But a lot of times it's not. It doesn't make the cut for the top priorities for the day. and that's okay too. So it's okay if your house isn't super duper clean, but hopefully we can keep sharing ideas together and figure out what works well for you too. So with that being said, will you share down below, do you have experiences with these? Am I using this duster thing all wrong? Like, I love hearing from you and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. It's really fun to see all of that in the comments as well. So thank you in advance for taking your time to share that too. I do have other cleaning videos if you're looking for a little extra cleaning motivation. So I'll link to that playlist too. It should be popping up right over here or here. I forget which way it pops up, but thank you so much for watching. I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.